DJ Farris.
The Chicago, nigga.
It's the real one. Hit Mac.
Only one is pulling shit. Fuck up.
Let's get sports talk.
Former wide receiver Dez Bryant posted some very interesting thoughts about Tyreek Hill on Twitter, and he wrote, "You can't have these conversations." He was part of a bigger topic that he was getting into, but essentially the most important part of it is at the very end. He says, "I think he, meaning Tyreek Hill, is the best player in the league outside of Mahomes." Now, we talked about this a little bit earlier, and Dominique and Rob Ninkovich are with me here. And let's just put aside the notion that he might be the second best player in the league. Is he, Dominique, as a person who made your living covering wide receivers, is he, in your opinion, the best wide receiver in the NFL?
I mean, it's hard to find somebody that's better than him. I would go probably Julio is a little bit more threatening of a player because he has the size, but Julio doesn't have the quickness that Tyreek has, and Tyreek's speed, man, that breaks defenses. As I said,
Man, that causes problems. That's why you see no corner go up and press him. That's why you see most of them scoop back and try to get space in between them so they could be able to have a kind of a head start to be able to keep up with him. Because they know if they scoot up and try to press him and he get away from you, then you shit in the dirt. There's nothing you can do from there. There's nothing you can do about it because he's going to leave you behind. That's why you see there's all space in between corners. It's hard to guard him. You see what he did in the Super Bowl when they had him. Look what happened. He found an open spot. There's no one near him until he caught the football and turned up the field and got tackled. He's that dangerous. You can't press him. You have to at least try to be a little bit in between. But he still figured out a way to get past you. It's hard to guard Tyreek Hill. That breakaway speed what kills cornerbacks.
earlier in the show, it's not football speed. Like, he's fast for a track athlete, and that changes everything. You put on top of it the fact that you can't really press him. He changes directions quickly. He's a dangerous guy. He tracks the ball well. All of the things that you want a receiver to have, with the exception of maybe height, Tyreek Hill has, and you pair him with possibly the best quarterback we've ever seen. I know that I would lose more sleep preparing for Tyreek Hill than any other receiver in the league. Maybe Julio Jones, but that's it.
Now, when we make the list of the best receivers in the sport over the last 2 or 3 years, it feels like the usual suspects are names like Julio Jones, Odell Beckham, DeAndre Hopkins. Tyreek Hill's name does not usually wind up on that list. Has that, Dominique, been an oversight in your mind? Is he a guy who should be talked about in exactly the same way we talk about those guys?
I absolutely think so. I think he's one of the keys to that offense. They have a lot of talented players, which is, I think he gets overshadowed, but he might quite possibly, even including what they have in Kelsey, he might be the most unique.
Yes. He should be brought up in that conversation because he's the number one wide receiver on that team. Then it's Sammy Watkins. Then it's Hardman. It's as simple as it is. He should be in that conversation because the impact he brings on the field, the impact he brings on that team, he should be in that conversation of being one of the best wide receivers in the league. But he get overlooked, and that's why he go out there and give it 100% and dominate, and they still won't show him no love.
Player, because that ability to get off of press coverage and then also outrun the defenders, it's something that requires the attention of 2 defensive backs, and that opens up a lot of other things for other guys. And it's not just that he's a deep threat. You can get him the ball on reverses. You can get him on a quick screen, and he might take that to the crib. He's a dangerous, dangerous player that I think when you are sitting in your meeting room preparing to stop the Chiefs, that might be the first player that I'm looking at trying to figure out how to slow down and take that deep threat ability away from that offense.
Rob Ninkovich, if you were starting a team, having played defense in the NFL all those years, if you were starting a team, could pick any one wide receiver to be your lead guy on your team, current player, which guy would you take?
I'm going Julio Jones, and that's because, look, the guy's 6'3", and he's fast. And you talk about longevity. How long can Tyreek Hill play at a high level if he loses a step? I remember back to the Super Bowl, this catch on the sideline, I was literally standing right there, and I thought it was overthrown. The last game I played in, I thought, man, we're losing this game because of this catch. Puts them in field goal position. We all know what happens next. They throw the ball twice, they get sacked, and have to punt it back to us. But just that alone, the plays that he's able to make with his size, as you get older in the NFL, you're not going to be as fast as you were when you're in your mid-20s. That's just not going to happen. So a guy that can play 10-plus years at 6'3", can go up and get the ball, runs great routes. I'm going Julio Jones. I love Tyreek. I think he's a game changer, and he is very fast. But with the size, if he loses a step, I don't think it's a problem when you have a guy that's not 6'3".
So again, Neek, your job was to cover these guys. If we were to sort of define them, we would say Tyreek Hill is defined by his speed. Right. Odell is defined by his hands. Julio is defined by his size and athleticism. DeAndre Hopkins is kind of a little bit of all of them. Which is the most difficult thing to deal with from a cornerback's perspective when the guy has that one ability?
Well, I think it's probably the speed. I think the speed is the most difficult thing because if you feel comfortable enough with your speed versus the receiver speed, you feel fine sitting on routes. You can't sit on any route that Tyreek.
Man, you can't sit on routes with a speedy wide receiver. You still out there trying to figure out how can I slow him down? What can I do to cut off his routes and take him out of the play? That's what cornerbacks try to figure out because he embarrassed majority of the corners in the league. Some be still trying to figure out how to slow him down. They try to do multiple things to be able to try to figure that out, but speed always kills. That's why they don't want to get up close to him because they know what can happen. If he get behind them, they know it's over for them. So it's difficulty to deal with a speedy person.
Hill is going to run. Like, you can take your chances if you want and try to stop a third down out or a third round crossing route, but he might run past you and you won't be able to catch him. These guys are very good and very talented and fast in their own right, but I think there are plenty of corners that feel comfortable with getting aggressive in short yardage situations or third down situations. Nobody does that to Tyreek Hill. If you see people getting up to press Tyreek Hill, it's either Jalen Ramsey or you got a safety over top. No one is getting up there. I know you can't see it in the TV copy, but when you go watch the coach's film, nobody is getting up in Tyreek Hill's face. Nobody is sitting on Tyreek Hill on third down unless a safety is rolling over the top, and that is terrifying. I understand what Rob's saying. If he loses a step, then maybe he'll be the second fastest person in the league. Like, he's still going to be blazing.
Shame on me, I left Michael Thomas out of the conversation there. I thought of him when I just was doing that off the top of my head. Michael Thomas, who last year had one of the great receiving seasons in the history of the sport. Ninkovich, which guy keeps you guys worried all week long? When you and your defensive coordinators are together in your meetings all week long and you're getting ready for the game on Sunday, which guy is it that makes you the most nervous all week long?
Well, you'd have to go with the guy that could, at any point in the game, score a touchdown. And you got to go with Tyreek in that situation when you could just run a go route and your quarterback could just throw it up and he's going to go up underneath it and catch that thing. So when you have a guy that's that fast, it lets everybody else in the intermediate routes, like your Travis Kelce, eat because he's one-on-one with a linebacker and you have your safety.
See, that's the big impact he has. That's why they try to bring a safety over the top to be able to try to help that corner out. But they open up everything around him. They get Kelce everything open. They get Sammy Watkins things all the way open. They open everything up for Harmon. So everything that could be underneath and all that, it open up everything because it's that impact that he bringing. He majority don't have to touch the football. You so focused on his speed and focus on him getting behind you, it open up everything that's in front of you. And it created open for everyone on that team.
Worried about somebody stretching the field. So that's what makes Kansas City's offense work so well. They have a receiver that can stretch vertically all the defensive coverage.
Yes,
They have a quarterback that can throw it to him at any moment. I think we might be having a different conversation if Tyreek Hill wasn't in Kansas City and had a guy who can throw it 60 yards across his body, because there's also situations where you'll cut a receiver loose because you know the quarterback can't throw that far. You don't have that situation in Kansas City.
I've been saying for years that if I were to pick one guy, it would be DeAndre Hopkins, and now he finds himself, when he had Deshaun healthy, their numbers were spectacular. Just watch what DeAndre Hopkins does this year in Arizona. Sneaky pick to have one of the best seasons in the NFL. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube.